Welcome to Native Talk Arizona, Native Health's Native American Cultural Affairs program, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm Susan Levy. And Tohono O'odham Community College, or TOCC, has a main campus located in Sells, Arizona, and a satellite campus located in Phoenix next to Native Health Central and Phoenix Indian Center. And on the phone with us today is Cassandra Scott. She is the Phoenix Center Director, and we absolutely adore you. Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate the opportunity to share information.
Wow, you guys do such important work, and I can't tell you how many people that you impact and that look forward to going to college and furthering their education. But before we get started and talk about TOCC, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey, and how did you end up at TOCC?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Skigtosh Ani Abjuguk, Cassandra Scott. I am halsoin shle tina bitli bashichin twodik ojo dashiche zitlatni dashinelle Cassandra Scott a dashijine. So I have the opportunity to work at Tohono O'odham Community College. So I've been learning a little bit of O'odham language. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm actually from the Navajo Nation. I grew up in the Four Corners area. In New Mexico. I grew up in Gallup and went to school in Farmington and moved here quite a few years ago to attend college and never left. So my journey has always been in student services. I've worked in the college and higher education environment for almost 30 years. So I ended up at Tohono O'odham Community College about 3.5 years ago, working here at the Phoenix location, Skigik Mashkamaki, to help students here in the Valley metro area from the Tohono O'odham Nation and from other areas to continue their community college work. Prior to that, I had experience working for tribal programs. I've worked with public universities, both at the university and community college level. I've worked with a private college. I worked for a nonprofit. So I have a wide range of experience, but I am so happy where I have ended up here at a tribal community college here in the state of Arizona with students from 48 states across the U.S. and who are attending different colleges, but I get to specifically work with students here at the Phoenix Center. So I am a first-generation college graduate. I attended Mesa Community College, Arizona State University, and Northern Arizona University. So I'm one of the first people in my family to earn a master's degree. So I'm very passionate about education and very happy to help students and families with opportunities that are available to them. So I've had quite a long journey, but I've ended up here at TOCC, and I've been challenged in a way that is giving me a rewarding sense of work. So I really appreciate the opportunity to share the information about our institution today.
Well, you do such important work. So tell us a little bit about TOCC. The programs, how long it's been around, just all the information about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tohono O'odham Community College is a land-grant institution. It came online in 1998. The main campus is in Sells, Arizona. It was a community college created for the nation, the Tohono O'odham Nation, to give their community members an opportunity to obtain college credits, college experience, and GED programming and workforce programs, apprenticeship programs. So the college has been around for quite some time in the Sells area, and there is a new building going up on the campus. It's going to be a place where there's going to be like a recreation area, there's going to be a theater and a stage, and it's going to be an opportunity for the main campus to host its own graduation there on the Black Mountain campus, which is the main campus there in Sells. There's also a West campus, the Hawks Nest campus, which houses the apprenticeship programs, some of the different programs where students get a lot of hands-on experience. And then we have the Skigit the mini houses site, which is where I get to work. And then we're also working with San Carlos Apache College to work on their accreditation here for their institution. But TOCC has been around for quite a few years. We've been here in the Valley for almost 5 years. Here in downtown Phoenix, we're just right next door to Native Health, so we're on the southeast corner of Indian School and Central, and we offer a variety of different programs. We are a 2-year college that offers opportunities for anyone. You don't have to be a member of the Dotna Nation. You don't have to be a member of a tribe. You can be any student who's looking for an opportunity. We have very affordable tuition and just a variety of different programs in about 12 different areas at the associate's degree level, and then 18 different certificates that we offer currently. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity for people. So I'm happy to share any information that we can about TOCC.
Okay, I want to go back to one thing. You mentioned the West Campus. Where's the West Campus?
Yeah, the West Campus is on the west side of Sells.
Okay.
So it's Wishakosh, and it is literally like 5-10 minutes on the other side of Sells, and there's a campus there as well where they have a garden. They work on the apprenticeship programs there.
Okay, all right. And I didn't know about the San Carlos either, so that's something new. You guys are always growing and doing new things and adding programs, which is just amazing and wonderful for the community. Let's talk about what programs are available. So whether they're in Sells or up in Phoenix, what different programs do you have for like the associate's degree and certifications?
So we have a wide variety of programs. In the state of Arizona, there are 3 major program areas that students tend to go into, no matter what college they go to. And that's going to be business areas, that's going to be education, and it's going to be healthcare. And those are all pathways that we have at TOCC. We have in person here fine arts courses. Dwayne Manuel is one of our instructors here at the Phoenix campus. So we offer an associate's degree in fine arts that is transferable to universities. We also have business program areas. So that could be business management. It could be a pathway to accounting. We even have certificates in casino operations and then certificates in management and supervision. We offer degree programs in computers, in early childhood teaching. We do a liberal arts, so if students aren't sure about what they want to pursue as a degree program, a liberal arts or a general area that they can start in and eventually transfer to a bachelor's degree is also available. We have science pathways, so if students need to take human anatomy or chemistry and get ready for a pre-med, a biomedical, or nursing or public health program, we have those. We also have a great social work program. But what we are known for is we have an associate's degree in Dhatna Atham studies. We are on the trajectory to be able to offer a bachelor's degree in Dhatna Atham studies. So that's going to focus on the language, that's going to focus on the history and the culture and the art of the Dhatna Atham area. So the Atham language is something that's really needed and requested by many people in the community because it's a shared language between not only the Dhatna Atham language, but Akchin and Gila River and Salt River. So that actual degree program is going to be eventually available at the bachelor's degree level, and that's something that's currently in the works and is going to come to fruition here pretty soon in the next year or two. That should be something that's available to students. But there's quite a few different academic programs that we offer and certificate programs, but we also do a high school equivalency program. If a student wants to earn a GED or they want to take college classes and do a high school equivalency, we have those opportunities as well. And then, like I said, on the nation, there are the hands-on programs in the apprenticeship areas that are also available. So a wide variety of information that I don't expect anybody to be experts in, which is why we're here to help you with the information. So we welcome your questions and welcome your visits to come and see us and learn more about what we could do to advance or fill that need for information that you might have.
Okay, so it sounds like you have everything, and that you're going to be getting a bachelor's in TOCC studies in a year, or no, excuse me, in Autumn in a year. So that's a lot of stuff. That's like, you said everything from GED to associates to certifications to casino operations, early childhood. That's like everything. That's a lot. Okay, so I do want to ask a couple questions. And also, we did have Dwayne Manuel on, and boy, he is an amazing artist. And I know he's been busy in the community doing things. Yeah, lots of stuff. All right, so I want to ask you, can anybody, I know that you said anybody can take a class, that whether they're a student or not, but what if I just wanted to take like an art class from Dwayne? Am I able to do that, or do I have to be, is that just considered a student? Do I have to be matriculating, or can I just go in and just take a class?
Yeah, absolutely. So anyone can take classes from us. I wouldn't say that you would have to be like an official student, but you do need to go through the official registration process. Because we are an accredited institution, you still need to do an application and submit the requested documents. But those are all necessary for us to be able to offer a tuition waiver if you're eligible. That tuition waiver can be for one class or it can be for a whole academic program. It really just depends on what kind of interest that you have. There are a lot of students who come to our campus and they start out thinking they only want to take one class, but they see how easy it is to be enrolled and how our faculty are responsive to their questions and their needs. And being a student at TOCC is something that a lot of people in the community are proud of. It's a little bit of an unknown to some people, and that's okay because we're a really small institution. But once our students are here, they will know that we will do everything that we can to make sure they're well informed, that they know how to advocate for themselves, they know what kind of questions to ask, and if they have a desire to take a class, that's great. If they have a desire to transfer to a four-year institution after they're done at TOCC, we can help them with that also because we have some great university transfer partners as well. So yes, we do have a lot. We do have a lot of opportunities for students, and that's what community colleges are. They're that place that students can go if they're unsure of what they want to do, if they're not quite ready for a university environment with hundreds of thousands of people. A community college is what that is. I went to a community college. It was the best transition for me from high school to university because the classes were smaller, the parking was free, and there's just a lot of different things that you can do at a community college, especially a tribal community college where people understand that your culture and your language and your identity are an important part of your learning process, and that identity is what makes you thrive and what makes you successful. So all of those different chances that you have to advance yourself, those are available. And you know, to be at a place like this after decades of student services in other places, it's just something different. It's something that's so rewarding to see students come in and know that they belong, and that if they're not sure what they're doing, that we're going to be here to make sure that we start giving them little tools here and there so that they know how to navigate a system so that they can be successful at the university level or at the community college level. So that's what we're here for.
Okay, so I want to backtrack a little bit. You talked a little bit about the tuition waiver. Do you need a tribal ID or CIB for a tuition waiver?
So the tuition waiver from Dothan Community College is available to any Native student from a federally recognized tribe. So a student can provide their CIB from Navajo Nation, they can provide their tribal enrollment card from Paskuyaki or from Gila River, or they can provide anything that shows that they are a member of their federally recognized tribe. They submit that to our admissions and records office, and that's what qualifies them for the free tuition waiver. So the tuition waiver covers the cost of the classes. And if you're not a member of a federally recognized tribe, the tuition is $36 a credit hour. So that is a very affordable cost for tuition when it comes down to paying out of pocket for classes. So there's great opportunity for people. You can still get academic scholarships, you can still get the Pell Grant, you can still get funds if you're eligible, in addition to the tuition waiver if you qualify for that. So it is a really great opportunity for students to seek out information on.
And I think you just mentioned a couple minutes ago that you have members from 200 different tribes attending?
We have quite a few students from a variety of different tribes. I know for sure that we have students from 48 states out of
48 states,
the United States. Yeah, out of the 48 states, we have students all across the country. Here at the Phoenix Center, we have about 220 students who are specifically registered as a Phoenix campus student. And then for the spring semester, our enrollment was about 1,200. So we're a really small institution in comparison to other schools and universities when it comes to the size of who we are. But we do offer classes both online and in person and over Zoom. So those are opportunities for students.
Well, and I think having a smaller footprint or campus or students allows for more personalized attention, and it's not as intimidating if you're just getting started or you want a smaller feel.
Yeah, absolutely. It is something different to be in a class like our in-person classes here at the Phoenix campus. We do in-person English writing classes and then in-person math classes. Currently, our math class only has 7 students, and that's students taking college algebra versus, if you went somewhere and there was 20 or 30 students in your class. You really don't get that same kind of attention from your instructor to notice that you might be struggling or you might be afraid to ask questions. But the other thing that it does is that small class size allows you to know your classmates better. So if you're both misunderstanding something or need help in a certain area, you can collaborate with each other and then communicate with the instructor better that way because your class is much smaller.
I think it sounds like a win-win all the way around, especially for me, like in math. I would definitely, 7 is a good number. So I know that we talked a little bit about the bachelor's degree that's coming in about a year. Are you also all looking at other bachelor's degrees? Is that something that TOCC is looking at down the road? Is increasing that and adding bachelor's?
It's quite possible. We are on a accreditation and a pathway that allows students to earn lower division credits here at TOCC that transfers into a majority of the different pathways that are available at the public universities here in Arizona. So at ASU, NAU, and the U of A, there are already outlined pathways that go from the community colleges to the university. However, what we are doing now, and our advising team and our advising manager is doing such a great job on this, is that we are increasing our communication with our university partners. And the way that we're doing that is we're letting our university partners know, hey, this is our curriculum, these are our students, they need a transitional support program to be able to get them from TOCC to your university. So they in turn are doing things as simple as offering an application waiver or coming out to our campuses. They're coming out to CELS and they're coming out to Phoenix and they're sitting down with our students face to face and saying, here's what we have for you at our university. These are some transfer scholarship opportunities. These are some transfer student support services. They may bring a student with them who is a transfer student as well. So then that student gets to ask questions about what to expect and how to navigate and how to be successful. So we're intentional on making sure that our students are equipped with the right information when they're looking to transfer to a university. We have official partnerships with ASU, U of A, and NAU, and then we also have partnerships with the Institute of American Indian Arts in Santa Fe. So IAIA is one of our transfer partners as well. So there's a great opportunity, like I said, for students in just about any area of education. And we're trying to make sure that we're covering all of our bases, and our advising team is doing such a great job at that. And a shout out to the U of A and ASU and NAU, because they are, and IAIA are actually coming to our campuses on a regular basis to give students information about transfer pathways. So a bachelor's degree right now, our focus, because we are a tribal college, and we are there to serve the members of the Dot'n'Atam Nation, the focus and the priority is that bachelor's degree because it doesn't exist anywhere else. So that's going to be the main focus right now. And then other ones I'm sure will come online when they become available. But those transfer partnerships like social work at ASU and U of A and NAU, we could partner with them and provide a transitionary type of program to where a student can be a graduate of TOCC and then also earn their bachelor's degree in social work from one of the 3 in-state universities.
Okay, I get it. So you've got good partnerships, and it makes more sense to do it that way. Good answer. All right, so let's ask about your semesters. Are these traditional semesters, or is it year round? I know, is it traditional, so 2 semesters and then a summer program, or is it a different kind of calendar year?
We do offer classes year-round, and we do follow the traditional semester schedule. So most new students will start in the fall semester, which goes from August to December, and then they'll continue into spring, which is usually January to May. And then we do offer summer session classes that typically go May to June or May to July. But we do notice that when we're looking at research and how students are successful and what works for them is sometimes an 8-week class instead of 16 weeks works better for students. So when you look at our academic schedule that's available for this semester, you may notice some shorter classes that are only 8 weeks long during the fall and spring semester, because there's a lot of research out there that shows that students are more successful in a shorter term when it comes to a class. So we're looking, like I said, we're looking at all things that are making our students successful. We were named a 2026 Leader College from Achieving the Dream. That's a national award that was given to us because of all of the work that our staff and faculty are doing to make sure that we're looking at different things so that our students can be successful. So yes, traditional semesters, but there are 8-week opportunities for some of the courses that we offer.
I would think 8 weeks it's a good manageable bite. You know, it's maybe a little bit heavier for 8 weeks, but then you're done and you feel like you've accomplished something. And I would think that just spurs you on to do more, be more, get more done. Okay, so that's really great that you guys do 8-week sessions. All right, so if somebody wanted to apply, what do they need and how do they do that?
The application process is very easy. However, if anyone has questions or they want assistance, they can come in or they can give us a call and we can help them. The online application is free. It does need to be done online. So you create a profile, you submit your information, you upload your proof of tribal enrollment if you have that, and then you also upload your proof of residency. Your proof of residency is simply your driver's license or your state ID. And then that's all you need for the application. Once you've submitted your application, you would contact your high school or obtain your official GED transcripts and send those over to our admissions office directly from your high school to the admissions office. So that official document does need to be on file. We do have some returning students who weren't able to submit official documents. So if they have a hold on their account and they're trying to register for this upcoming semester, that's probably why. So if we have some current TOCC students who are listening to the program, they do need to submit their official transcripts from high school or GED programs so that they can register for the classes. And that's a requirement to put us in line with being official, just an official function that we need to make sure that we get done for our accreditation and being a an institution of higher education, we need to have the official documents on file. But essentially, that is all a student needs. If they have transcripts from another college or another university, they can send those official transcripts over to us, and we'll take into consideration their prior credits. But there's no cost to apply. The application process literally takes less than 10 or 15 minutes. But if you'd like help, come and see us. If you have questions or you're running into hiccups, you can always give us a call and we would be happy to help.
Okay, so what's the website to apply?
The website to apply is tocc.edu.
Okay, all right.
Very simple.
And
yeah,
then you're
just
available
right off of the homepage.
Okay, and then you're available to help people like Monday through Friday, 8 to 5?
We are in our offices Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5, and then on Fridays we're usually here from 8 to 12. Okay. But the main campus is available on the phone Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 as well.
Okay. And then I've got to ask you, what's your favorite success story? I know I've worked with a lot of people that have gone through TOCC and have really furthered their lives through it. And I could tell you some great success stories, but which is your favorite?
I think I have quite a few since I've been here for a couple years, because I really get to know the students who come in and use the resources. They come in a little apprehensive. They're not sure. They didn't go to school over, like the past several years, and they're not sure what to expect. So I like just providing that confidence for students. I have an older student. She is from San Carlos. She came in one day and she was like, I need to finish my GED, but I'm not quite sure what I need to do. So I talked to her for a little bit, and we found out that she actually wants to continue into college classes. So instead of just doing the GED program, we talked about something that's called a college credit pathway program, our high school equivalency program, where you can take a set of college courses, pass them, and then continue into college classes because those ones you already completed count for your high school equivalency. She started a couple years ago, just taking a class or two here and there, and right before the spring semester started, she came up to me and she's like, Cassandra, I'm registering for my last semester. And I was so proud of her because it was just so fun that she was so excited, and she's like, you told me that it was going to go by really fast and I didn't believe you. And I'm like, I told you, you just have to take one class at a time, go at your own pace, see what's working for you, make your schedule, and go from there. Once you see that you're doing well in your classes and you figure out what you can handle, if you can take more classes, take more classes. If not, it's okay to do one course at a time. And before you know it, she's going to be graduating this summer with her high school equivalency, and then she's going to enroll in college classes towards a degree program in the fall. So I'm very happy for her because she has grandkids, and she has her daughter who also takes classes with her here. She comes in person about twice a week. I think last semester she was here 4 times a week, coming in the evening and taking class in person, because some people need that. Some people need to be able to sit down in a class, carve that time out for themselves, and sit in front of an instructor who is willing to work with them and make sure that they're understanding the material. So I'm very proud of this student who is able to complete their high school equivalency, and very excited that she's going to be continuing into her college courses. So that's one student. But I do want to give a shout out to another student who came in the other day. He was interested in his GED program. He came in, he just started doing the paperwork. He got admitted. He started taking his tests for the GED program because you have to take a couple different subject tests and a civics test. And he was just coming in and just checking things off, just going. He completed and passed his GED in 2 weeks. From the time that he came in to start talking to us and the time that he finished was a 2-week timeline to finish his GED. It really depends on what works for you. And you might not know what that is at first, but that's why we're here. That's why we're here to support you, answer your questions, give you the information, find out what works for you, and then before you know it, you're graduating. And it's just a great thing to see yourself be so successful and then show other people that you're capable and that they're capable as well. So that's the best part about my job, is I get to see people like that.
That's pretty impressive, both of those stories. But to finish a GED in 2 weeks, so obviously that means both of them are very motivated and want to get on with their lives and do education. I don't have a lot of time, but I do want to ask you a couple more questions. And I'm not sure if you've already answered this or if I understood it. Are you able, if you're in high school, to do a dual enrollment and also take classes from TOCC and get college credit while you're in high school?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is specifically for a focus point for our students who are on the Dot Autumn Nation. Our admissions team, our admissions recruiter, and the dual enrollment coordinator are intentionally making sure that we provide dual enrollment opportunities for the students on the Dot Autumn Nation. So there are a specific set of high schools that they are working with for dual enrollment on the Dot Autumn Nation, because that's why the college was created. The college was created to advance the members of the nation into college opportunities. So the dual enrollment focus for our school, because any community college can offer dual enrollment, but the focus for us is to make sure that we're empowering our students who are currently in high school, who are members of the Dot Autumn Nation, living on the Dot Autumn Nation. So they have the dual enrollment opportunities there. In addition to that, there is a summer transition program called TOSOP that allows the students to live on campus, work on campus, take a college class so that they can get the experience and go from high school to TOCC. We do have residential halls, so they do get to live on campus and work there and see what it's like to be a student. And that program is going into its second year. It was very successful last year. We learned some things, and we're going to change some things, and we're going to make it better. So then we're looking for a whole new group of students this summer to do that. We do have a couple dual enrollment opportunities available for high schools outside of the nation, but those are going to be limited. But any student can enroll at our college as a concurrent enrollment student. So I would say maybe juniors and seniors who have room in their academic schedule to take college classes, they certainly can enroll in an English course or in a math course or any other course that they might be interested in, and we can help them with that. So reach out to us, let us know what you have questions about, and that's what we'll help you with.
Okay, so lots of different opportunities, but it sounds like the bottom line is reach out, ask if your high school does that, and the different programs. So we're pretty much out of time, but I wanted to find out, how can our listeners find more information about TOCC? How can they contact you? Again, your website, any social media, and then your email or phone number.
You can definitely reach out to us here at the Phoenix Center. Our phone number here at the Phoenix location is 480-590-3447. We are at 4041 North Central in Building B. We share the space with the Phoenix Indian Center. We are across the parking lot from Native Health. So we are here to support in any capacity that we can when it comes to your education and training. We do have a Facebook page. I think it's just under Dot Autumn Community College. You can search that under Facebook. Our Jugos team, our athletics program, also has a Facebook page and an Instagram page, so I would definitely check that out. And we have email, cscott@tocc.edu. You can reach out to me, give me a call, and we're here to help and provide any information that you have. But most importantly, I want to make sure that the members of our Dot Autumn Nation, if you're out there and you're listening, come see us. We are your college. We are here to provide you opportunity. We're here in the Phoenix area. We're in cells. If you work out at Desert Diamond Casino and you want to get some additional training, come talk to me and we can talk about online classes or coursework to advance your jobs out there at Desert Diamond. But yeah, we're here, and I would be happy to talk to anybody who has questions about our college.
And I would say, Cassandra, that you are always approachable and kind and friendly, not intimidating, and really welcoming people to take the first step in furthering their education. And it is always a pleasure to run into you in the parking lot or wherever. So thanks for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. I really always like learning all the new things that you're doing and all the programs that you're adding and what a difference that you make. So thank you for all your hard work and your dedication.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share information. We greatly appreciate it.
Coming up next on Native Talk Arizona, host Susan Levy chats with Caroline Roberts and Kelsey Metafoot, the creative duo behind the new children's book, Tessa's Red Dress, Honoring Love and Family. Support for KRDP 90.7 FM comes in part from Native Health, with 2 locations in Phoenix, 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road, and at 8800 North 22nd Avenue. Native Health is also located in Mesa at 777 West Southern Avenue, near the corner of Southern Avenue and Extension Road. And Native Health provides primary medical services at the new Guadalupe Health Center, 6725 South Priest Drive in Guadalupe. Native Health provides primary medical, dental, behavioral health, WIC, and wellness services for the urban Native American community. For more information, call 602-279-5262 or visit our webpage at nativehealthphoenix.org.
Welcome back to Native Talk Arizona, Native Health's Native American Cultural Affairs program, presented by Native Health and KRDP 90.7 FM. I'm Susan Levy. Carolyn Roberts and Kelsey Metafoot are the creative duo behind the new children's book, Tessa's Red Dress, Honoring Love and Family. It introduces young children to Red Dress Day and the importance of remembering the missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and Two-Spirit peoples. Hello, Kelsey and Carolyn, and welcome to Native Talk Arizona.
Hi, thank you.
Hello.
We are so excited to have you both on, and I can't wait to learn more about Tessa's Red Dress. I did check it out, and it looks like a great book. I know it's coming out shortly. But before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey. And I guess, Carolyn, let's start with you first on this one, and then Kelsey.
Yeah, great. Well, Hexwell Carolyn Roberts, Quinansa. I'm Carolyn. I am Stutlium and Stolo. I come from the territories around the Vancouver area in British Columbia, Canada. And I am a faculty lecturer and a teacher in the teacher education program at the University of British Columbia.
Well, welcome. And Kelsey?
Hi, my name is Kelsey Metafoot. I'm a Shinget illustrator from Southeast Alaska. I was born and raised in Ketchikan, but have lived in Juneau, Sitka, and Klawock. I've been drawing and writing as long as I can remember, but being an illustrator is still relatively new. Prior to going full-time in 2023, I actually worked in advocacy and education.
Okay, and then you ended up being an illustrator. All right, we can't wait to learn more. All right, so I guess let's start with both of you, and I'm not sure who wants to answer this. Can you tell us about the new book, Tessa's Red Dress? I guess, Carolyn, you want to start with that first?
Yeah, Tessa's Red Dress is a book geared for kindergarten to grade 3 children. And it's really about this beautiful young human. Her name is Tess, and she's having stories about her. She has a new baby coming in their family, and Tess and Mom are talking about what it was like for Mom and her sister when they were young. So they were really just sharing the story and stories of the family and how that is passed on to keep a family member alive. And we find out that Tess's auntie is no longer with them. So it's really talking about that connection to how we keep their memories alive as they prepare for Red Dress Day.
All right. And then Kelsey, so in terms of Tessa's Red Dress, I might be jumping ahead, but how did you prepare for this, or how did you think about it in preparation for the illustrations?
That's such a good question. So with the illustrations, I really wanted to match the tone of the manuscript I received from Carolyn, which at its heart, the book centers family, memory, and importance of, cherishing each other as community. And it reminds us that honoring the ones we love means keeping their stories alive. And I just wanted her words to really inform how I approach the subject. I say when I first heard it was going to be a book about MMIW, I felt protective and hesitant, but, asking myself, how do you illustrate something this difficult and sensitive? Because in some of our communities, especially growing up, there were topics you just didn't talk about. But Carolyn approached it with such humanity, and it was the most human way possible, and centering family and community, and it lingered on these warm moments and coming together. So my goal was to ultimately show that through the artwork, that the love is surrounding all of us and that love is felt, and to really try to show those relationships to accompany her language.
It is a beautiful book. Okay, now I'm going to take a step back. So, Carolyn, how'd you get interested in writing children's books? I think that would be a tough genre to try to make things simple and understandable, but appeal to littles. So, how'd you get into all of this?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my first book that I wrote was for educators and how you teach Indigenous education in the classrooms. And I had spent a lot of time traveling across Canada, sharing that with teachers everywhere in K-12 and higher education. And a lot of the conversations when we would come close to May the 5th for Red Dress Day here, lots of teachers were asking about how do we approach this subject with the younger grades, because there's no books that are written about it. And I would talk about matriarchs in our community and highlighting them and finding picture books that talk about the relationships between the women within Indigenous communities. And then I just said, why don't I just write a book that talks about that? And so the Tessa's story came to me. It's a bunch of moments in my own personal life with my children and my sisters and my nieces. But it's a fictional moment in time. So I think that's because they're real life moments, it makes that connection for people to be really authentic as in who we are as Indigenous people. And so, I wrote the story, and Teddy took a chance on me and connected me with Kelsey. And now we have this beautiful, amazing book because Kelsey really brought the book to life and really brought Tess and her family so that you can feel and see all of the love that's there.
So, Carolyn, I want to ask you, how did you approach this in making this less scary or worrisome for children? I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. How do you talk about that and so that they're not worried about anything that might happen to them or their loved ones?
Yeah, it does make sense. And I think what was really important for me was that connection to what I really wanted to do was to bring the real life moments into play. And the story is just really beautiful about how Tess is asking questions and Mom is answering them in this loving, generous way of how they interacted as a family. So it really is based on love. And at the end, when Mom is trying to navigate feeling sad because she's missing Auntie, but also feeling honored that she can honor Auntie, Tess picks up her mom's heart, and she wants to be a part of the process, and she wants to keep Auntie's memory alive. So I think it was Tess and her mom holding the story together.
So, Carolyn, is this a personal story to you, or is this just something that you wanted to write about?
It is a personal story to me because as an Indigenous person living in Canada, in the place that we are, all of us have been impacted by colonization, and that colonization has impacted us through a great amount of loss, and loss of our language, loss of our community, loss of our culture, and loss of people in our community. So I really wanted to share what an Indigenous family looks like as they navigate that loss, but I also wanted to share them in this beautiful light of love so that people don't just see the trauma, but they also see the brilliance and the beauty within our culture, which Kelsey beautifully illustrated.
Yes. And so then, Kelsey, so then you got the manuscript. Did you know each other before this, or did the publisher just kind of say, hey, Kelsey would be a great fit for the illustrations?
So, no, we didn't. And I'm so happy to know her now because we're dreaming up other projects together and just wanting to stay connected. But we didn't know each other prior. I know Teddy reached out to me because of my background in advocacy, and he wanted to attach an illustrator who understood some grassroots organization and nonprofit work in the violence against women space. And I had actually slowly gone from that space into full-time illustration. And so that's when he approached me and said, hey, I want someone that is comfortable speaking about this and who is used to dealing with this at all angles.
So then once you get, and I'm not very familiar with how this works, but I'm assuming that once you get a manuscript, you kind of look at it and you pick up, and then you spoke to, I assume you spoke to Carolyn, and you kind of said, this is, I want to envelop this in love and everything she just described. Yeah. Then do you take that and you kind of think about it, and then you develop your illustrations? Is it sort of like storyboarding, and then you send it back and you say, like, is this sort of what you were thinking? Like, that you want everybody to be surrounded by Tess and her family. And is that how the process works?
That's pretty close.
Okay.
So the illustrators will typically receive the manuscript first, and that's what really drew me to the project and Carolyn's beautiful words. And so you receive the manuscript, and you're given anywhere from a few weeks to a few months to create what I call napkin sketches. And in this stage, you really let the author's words inform the flow of your artwork. And so these sketches also show the authors and editors your plan for each page. They can include everything from composition and values, like grayscale sketching, to where you're planning to leave space for the text. And you kind of have this beautiful journey of passing these sketches back and forth to each other. And then once we all are super happy with the compositions, then we move into color. And that's when you really see these pages come to life. And I work digitally about 80 to 90% of the time using Fire Alpaca and Photoshop with a drawing tablet. But I also paint watercolor washes and scan them, and then I apply them as a layer in final stages. And that's where those paint textures come from. And I've heard this style referred to as digital meets analog, and that always makes me smile.
That sounds like it's pretty involved, is it? Like it takes a long, that sounds like it takes a long time.
It does. It takes months and months of a lot of conversations about color choices and character design, and it's definitely a journey you're on together for at least, I think, a year.
Because it sounds like, children's books, I think, are much harder, at least my perspective, to write. I mean, because you're writing for younger people, and that you've got to make it simple and appealing, visually appealing, and it's got to hold their attention. It sounds like a big challenge. Yes?
Yes.
It's okay.
Yes, I think it was, but I think that part of what makes Tess so beautiful is the simplicity within the pictures, and you didn't necessarily need all the other background stuff. Like I'm thinking in this moment when Tess is putting on her red dress, and that moment between her and her mom, it's so beautiful because they're so prominent on the page, right? And I think it's the crafting of being able to craft a story visually from words.
And Carolyn, how long did it take you to write this book, or start from either maybe thinking about it to actually writing it, the whole process? Does it take a couple months? I know that you said it, for both of you it takes a year. I mean, has it been a year? Has it been 2 years?
Oh my goodness, Kelsey, I don't know. I think that it's probably been a year and a half to 2 years maybe as a process. Yeah. But as for writing the story itself, it only took me a few days to write the story. I find that with my process, stories come to me, and I'm just like the navigator of writing them out. And then, of course, there was wordsmithing, and then all of the other things about in this page, this is what I see happening, and in this page. So, it wasn't that long for me to be able to create and write down the story. I think the process was the talking and the connecting, and how do we vision and what do we see, and all of those pieces. And then, of course, the time to make the pictures.
I kind of previewed the book a little bit, what I could see online, and it looked great. Where can people purchase the book?
You can purchase it anywhere that you buy books, of course. We always request that people look at independent booksellers, because we like to promote and honor those booksellers who are doing that work. But you can also purchase it right through the publisher of Medicine Wheel Publishing, and then anywhere else that you buy books you can order it from. Available everywhere.
All right. So finally, Carolyn and Kelsey, how can our listeners find more information about Tess's red dress, and how can they contact each of you?
I have a website. It's kelseyfoot.com. I'm also on Instagram and consider myself fairly responsive over there. If you just want to say hi or send me a message, my handle is at KelseyMataFoot.
And it's KEL
SEYMATAFOOTE.
Perfect. And Carolyn, how about you?
For teacher resources and teacher videos and lesson plans and all of that, you can go to my website at carolynroberts.net, and you can find all the things that we've prepared for teachers wanting to use this book in their spaces. And there's also more information if you want to go to Medicine Wheel Publishing as well. They also have stuff about Kelsey, about Tessa's Red Dress.
Awesome. Thank you both for coming on. And I can't wait to get a copy of the book, Tessa's Red Dress. And I wish you the best of success.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sheesh.
Thank you for listening to Native Talk Arizona, presented by Native Health and 90.7 FM KRDP. Our executive producer is Susan Levy. Sound engineer is Javier Quiroga. We hope you will tune in again next week. If you have any questions, please reach us at nativetalkaz@listen2krdp.com.